Danfall offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfall, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfall, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfall, Africa. To learn more, visit danfall.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Everyone, a shout out to Congo Limao 4884. Thank you for putting that out. I did have the wrong country, and I still got the wrong flag. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix this. Can I fix this while we're in stream? There we go. I need the Rwanda flag. Hold on. Okay, we'll just go remove the flag altogether. Okay, let me change that one. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay, all right. Can I change it? Yeah, there we go. All right, I'll remove the flag. I had the wrong flag too. Sorry about that. Everyone, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Shout out to everyone who is I meant Rwanda, y'all. I meant Rwanda. Yeah, okay. I'm human. I make mistakes. Forgive me. But yes, I meant Rwanda. But make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. Y'all, come on into the, come on home. Come on home, you guys. Welcome home, Make yourself comfortable. We'll put the link in the channel shortly. We had a conversation earlier today with our sister Kia in Kenya, which reverse culture. And, we talked about the medical tourism. We talked about medical tourism in Kenya. Because when you think medical tourism, usually you're thinking about, shout out to our sister Marie, y'all. Shout out to our sister Marie. Marie came on our very first tour back in 2019 to Nigeria for the Oshun Festival. So shout out to Marie, everyone. Naturally shy 88. She just told her age. So Marie's about 37. She just told her age. So shout out to Marie, everyone. But yeah, so we were discussing the medical tourism opportunities in Kenya. I went in October after our Zanzibar trip, and I got a physical done, got my teeth clean, all for like $400, $450, something like that. Which is cool. But when I say I got a checkup done, like I got blood, everything done. When I got my checkup done. So yeah, so that went well. So yeah, so when people usually think medical tourism, they're thinking, Turkey, Thailand, really Turkey, because that's the BBL and Hair BBL headquarters. You know, brothers is getting their hairlines redid, and then they on the plane leaking all over the passengers, all over the seats, the passenger seats, leaking blood because they're coming back too soon and ain't properly recovering. So yeah, so now you can do it in Kenya. Get your veneers. You know, y'all be going to Panama or wherever y'all go. Wherever y'all be going. Panama, where y'all get the veneers from? Look like y'all got all white Air Force Ones in your mouth, big ass teeth, them big ass shiny white veneers. Like you got a pair of fresh Air Force Ones in your mouth. I call that BBL of the mouth. Where they go, Panama or Dominican Republic? I think Dominican Republic to get the veneers. Now you could do all of that. You could do all, yeah, look like a bunch of chiclets in your mouth. There you go, all white chiclets. It's okay. It's okay to have a little, you know, a little. Listen, if your teeth is just a little yellow, or a little off white, that's okay. But your teeth ain't gotta be all bright white, like some brand new Air Force Ones for Foot Locker out the box. Yeah, like a BBL of your mouth. Because the veneers look so bad, like it doesn't look natural. It's like fake breasts. They just don't look real. Like when you see some breasts, some fake breastises, you know they fake. It's the same thing with the whatchamacallit, the veneers. They just look fake. But come and join us in Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival. We are rolling May 9th to the 18th. May 9th to the 18th, we're going to the Jazz Festival. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfall.Africa. If you're interested in joining us, excuse me, please visit Danfall.Africa to learn more. Yeah, look like piano keys in your mouth. I gotta stop it. Again, please visit Danfall.Africa to learn more. We will love to host you all. Hey, anybody in the Dallas area or Texas? Is Crockett gonna win today? I think Crockett pulls it out. Pulls it off or pulls it out, whatever. Wins. I think Crockett wins. I think Crockett wins. Is Crockett winning today? I think Crockett wins. Hold on, let me change this real quick. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, I messed up. I mixed up. No, at Downfall. Hold on. Let me take this out too, guys. I'm coming. I just was messing up today on the description, on the title. I just messed up today, y'all. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm sorry. Let me go to this one right here. Hold on one second, guys. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming. Why does it say upcoming? No, this gotta go live. This gotta go live. Yeah, this gotta go live too. Okay, it's live. It says live. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. But visit Danfall.Africa again. Please visit Danfall.Africa to learn more. Let's jump into today's topic. Trump has dropped some new sanctions on Rwanda, saying, Rwanda, listen, the deal was y'all leave the Congo alone, and you're not meeting your end of the deal. So therefore, take these sanctions. And I don't think Kagame's too happy about it. Yeah, I don't think Kagame is happy at all about it. I think he's pretty pissed. Let's jump into it. Let's pull up the video.
Get the strong arm.
So Kagame's
Attorney
still
John
in the
Foy and
Congo
Associates.
doing what he
We've
does.
helped thousands get the care and compensation they deserve after an accident. When you call,
Fair use African
Hi
insider,
there.
fair use
So,
African insider.
amid the ongoing conflict in the Middle East between Iran and the United States Treasury Department decided to drop a bombshell and sanctioned the Rwanda Defense Force, the whole army of Rwanda. And this is the article, and I'll be taking you to the Treasury Department website later. But the article says the United States, and the article was published today on the 2nd of March 2026, and it says that the United States on March.
Hey, somebody's asking for before we start, anybody got the FBA hotspot password? It's delineation. That's the password. Delineation, all caps. If it's not delineation, all caps, try tethers. The tethers, all caps. Okay. Thank you for $2 holla.
And they imposed sanctions against Rwanda's defense force and top military officials, according to the U.S. Treasury Department website. And this is as fighting has continued in recent weeks on several fronts in the eastern DRC, that is Congo. And some of the top military officials that have been sanctioned are James Kabarebe, who has been the leader of or the commander of M23 since back in 1996, when it used to call itself FDL, then later RCD, and we know in 2006 he changed the name, or they changed the name to CNDP, and somewhere in 2011 changed the name to M23, and today it's called M23 AFC. Doesn't matter, it's the same outfit. It's just a bunch of Rwandan defense force that crosses the border into Congo and pretends to be Congolese people or rebels to basically loot minerals. And when they are asked, why are you going to Congo, they usually bring up this excuse of
Is this true? So they pretend to be Congolese? I mean, yeah, so they pretend to be they pretend to be Congolese? That true?
certain group of Hutu militiamen called FDLR, who no one has seen in the last 20 years, who no one knows where they are located. But the effect on the ground is that they kill Congolese people and alive Congolese citizens, take their land and also take their minerals. Today, the M23 stroke RDF terrorist organization in Eastern Congo is occupying Rubaya mines, which is where you find 15% of the world's tantalum, or coltan, if you want. And they also occupy Walikale mines, where you find 25% of the world's tin, and tungsten is also found in those mines. So they basically control tin, tungsten, and tantalum, the three T's. And if you look at the government or the treasury department of the Rwandan government, that contributes about 70% of all Rwandan exports for the year 2024. So Rwanda basically exports mostly looted Congolese minerals, and that's why the outfit that is doing that on behalf of the Rwandan government is getting sanctioned. Now, let me read the article on the Treasury Department here. It says, this is the US Department of Treasury. It says, Treasury sanctions Rwanda officials condemns blatant violation of Washington peace accords, and they've gone ahead to say that the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, has authorized the sanctions on the Rwandan Defense Force, and he even says we expect immediate withdrawal of Rwandan Defense Force troops, weapons, and equipment from Congo. So Rwanda, the whole thing, M23 Rwandan Defense Force that is in Congo, more than 20,000 soldiers from the Rwandan Defense Force that are inside Congo have to go back to Rwanda. And the equipment that they've installed there, including surface-to-air missile system, 3 of them, one in Kichanga, another one now a little bit near Mount Nyiragongo in a place called Burungu, and another one in Goma. It also has to go back to Rwanda, those systems. And they also have drones inside Congo, Bayraktar TB2 drones. They also have to go back to Rwanda, and that's what the sanction means. So for a long time, I've said this, that the Rwandan Defense Force is the M23 outfit. And of course, before now, a lot of comments in the comment section was that I am a liar, I'm an unprofessional journalist, and so on and so on. But those comments have very slowly been disappearing from my comment sections, because it's obvious that the Rwandan Defense Force is M23. Even the Rwandan ambassador to the US admitted as such that it's one and the same. And the commander of this outfit, James Kabarebe, has been sanctioned multiple times. And Paul Kagame is also is in line to be sanctioned very soon. It's just a matter of time. And also something else you need to know, that the Rwandan Defense Force is the ethno-nationalist fighting force of the Tutsi tribe. That's what they are. They even call themselves as such. They call themselves Inkotanyi or Inhotanyi, which means the sword or the spear drawer, meaning someone who pulls out the spear or the sword. In other words, the killer. So they consider themselves as the killer of the Tutsi nation. And
we'll stop
now
it.
what is
Let's
going
go
to
ahead and
happen
help.
with these sanctions is
let's
that
do sanctions. Okay.
you are not going to find immediate effects on the Rwandan Defense Force. But obviously, what will happen immediately is that any foreign assistance they've been receiving from the US for defense purposes will have to stop. Any other foreign assistance from other governments like the United Kingdom for the defense budget in Rwanda has to stop.
Do you really want to make your holiday special? Tanzania has got so much to offer.
Guys, speaking of, hey, we are going to Tanzania in September 20th to the 29th. If you want to join us, please visit Danfo.Africa. That's DANFO.Africa. We're going to Tanzania.
And then what the sanctions, how they work is that the politicians just have to sign to authorize, and then the bureaucrats in the office now will have to start executing the policies to enforce the sanctions by sending enforcement requests to different organizations across the world, mostly financial institutes or institutions, right?
We'll end it right there. Go ahead, Call. Call. Unmute yourself, Call. Call. Unmute yourself, Call. Call. Okay. All right, go ahead, Ngolo.
First of all, good afternoon, brother. Yeah, this right here, man, shows, man, you can't be dancing with the devil with cotton shoes on.
My words.
He thought Kagame thought he was good just getting up under the U.S., but time after time the U.S. shows you, man, once you accomplish their interest and you interfere with their direct interest, they're gonna dispose of you. So he should learn his lesson. Dude is a pariah and a parasite. I don't know why people like the brother College Genesis did the other night come on defending him. His track record with what he's been doing in Eastern Congo is well documented. But the Congo is leveraging the earlier deal. They've been dragging their feet to make sure that they hold Kagame and the M23 accountable. So this is just them leveraging that deal, and the U.S. is trying to compete with China to get more access to the resources and the multinational corporations that are from the U.S. as well. But I'm glad that he's getting sanctioned. He's not going to learn from it because he is the brown skinned Netanyahu, and he has his ethno nationalist agenda as well that don't nobody speak about. I don't buy one bit that he's this egalitarian leader. I don't buy it, but I'll let somebody else speak.
All right, Africa.
Yeah, I think if M. Carl is back, I'll come after him because it's from the ground, isn't it?
What I'll do, I'll pass it to Harker then Call because Call's Congolese. So we'll go ahead, Harker.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, those are the same words the brother just said.
I'm on now whenever I can. Sorry.
Yeah, those are the same words the brother just speak. That's the same thing I said. That's what I text you, right? That's what happened when you get in bed with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So I remember when back in my young days, we protested at the I don't remember if it was the French embassy or U.S. embassy, but in New York, one of those embassies, when the elder was just Kabila, the father, the Kabila, when he was fighting,
the one that got assassinated.
Right, exactly.
Laurent
Kabila.
Yeah.
Laurent
Kabila. Yeah. Anyway, we were at the protest because I was in a group, which I can't mention, that actually traveled to Zimbabwe and the Congo and stuff like that. And I remember when they had a war, right? And Joseph Kabila called, I think it was South Africa, but they didn't join. It was Zimbabwe and somebody else joined to defend the Congo against U.S. back and U.S. back mainly. I think it was Rwanda, Uganda, and some other country. I don't remember, but Rwanda. I know.
Well.
Let me finish. I know someone that actually traveled to Rwanda when they were rebuilding back the country, and they were inviting different people. And this senator that I know from Jersey at the time, Senator Payne, traveled to Rwanda, right? And a lot of Americans was directing traffic after Kagame and his government was building up the country. And we always wonder, why is the country being built so fast? It was money pouring in like crazy at that time, pouring in like crazy to build up the country. And then we later on find out from people who went there, right, that he was heavily involved in the Congo, right? And he was backing a lot of the rebels in the Congo. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, he definitely worked and backed by US and England. They didn't want to have nothing to do with the French at that time. You see what I'm saying? They were mad at the French. As a matter of fact, he was so mad at the French that he was trying to switch the driving side of the road. You know, in Jamaica, we drive on the English side, but in the English colony, he was trying to switch the drive on that side. But of course, it wasn't feasible, right? He introduced cricket, all those stupid things. You see what I'm saying? He was trying to get away from France. He didn't want to have nothing to do with France at the time, right? And he was moving towards America and Britain. So yeah, they backed him, they funded him. He looted the Congo, and he betrayed the African community because they were really behind him at first. They were behind Rwanda. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. he was part of the people, along with the I don't want to say it on your show, but just put AIA from America, right?
Okay, got you. Okay.
Right.
It's funny you said that, because that same group, kind of off topic, is it's supposed to arm a certain group in Iran to start an uprising.
Right. I know about that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So they actually shot down the plane that the Houthi president at the time was carrying. They shot it down. They started it, right? They started because they wanted to destabilize that region to get to where? The Congo. The Congo is the prize, right? And like I said, I've met one of Joseph Laurent Kabila. I met one of his officers. He came to New York when they took over the country, and they were told us what their plans are and they're trying to do. And they tell like African Americans to come and invest in the Congo. You show at the time, this is the 90s at the time. And I don't know if I was young then. I don't know if anybody picked him up in his offer, but I remember him coming to one of our meetings in Harlem. And like I said, I don't know if anyone took him up on his offer, but definitely Kagame, backed by the US, shot down the Houthis plane, that president, and that's how this entire goddamn thing started.
You mean Hutus?
Right?
You mean Hutus?
Hutus. I'm not saying the name correctly. Hutus, right? And that's how all of this shit started. All the so-called genocide started. That's why in Rwanda right now you cannot mention the name Tutsi or Hutu is just Rwandan, because you want to keep that. And from friends that I know that spent some good time in Rwanda, said you could see the fear in the Rwandans. You could see it's like something boiling to happen. You see what I'm saying? It's like something boiling to happen. But there's a lot going on there, and that's just my story of what I know.
Okay. Let me pass the call, because call is Congolese, and I pass it back to Africa.
Yeah. Can I be here now? Well, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
I was late to. Peace to everybody. Jambo, hello everybody. Thank you, Dinas, for the time and for speaking about what is going on in our region. Yeah. So Kagame's boys being sanctions. I know them. I'm from the region. I think this is not like a real punishment to Kagame yet, but I think the US, who propped up him, who have been his backers since the 90s, and who have trained him, used him. They've been his allies, even in the war in Congo. Because the current Congo's administration went ahead and told them, instead of passing through Rwanda and unaliving millions of Congolese to access those mines, they can go into deals straight away with Congolese government and get access to those mines without the unalivement of millions of people. So in that, Rwandan side, they've lost one of their plan which they had against Congolese, which is to wipe out enough in that region and occupy the land of our people. So this is a signal to Rwandan government and to the Rwandan gang that they need to stop and and adhere to the agreement. Although I don't like the deal, but it seems like there is something better which can come out of this deal. And for anybody whatever the brother was saying, that's true. That's actually facts which have gone on in that region. And whoever wanna know by reading, I like, Dynasty, I like to use our own before going to other people. The blackagendareport.com, it's a African American, or let's say FBA or Black American news media, which has a lot of pieces, a lot of great article about what happened there. For example, there is this chronicle they did, America's war on democracy in Rwanda and DRC. You will see how the US, worked in that region so as to prop up Paul Kagame and to support his repressive regime in Rwanda, to supporting him into Congo. There is like another one, even still at the Black Agenda report, you can read Bill Clinton and the Dictators Club. Again, the support of Bill Clinton to Paul Kagame. And if you really want to know why Kagame operates how he operates and why some people, even some our FDA or African American or Black American like Color Genesis, they like Kagame and they don't know the truth. Read the Guardian article, America's Secret Role in the Rwandan G-Side by Helen C. Epstein, and you will see how the MI5 and the three-letter agency, supported through Museveni, Kagame, and helped Kagame's group to invade Congo and unalive millions of people without being held accountable. So, yeah, there is a lot of things which have been said in the report. And this Kagame's group is an ethno-nationalist, which you can call even ethno-fascist group, which his plan is to impose some type of governorship in all that region. So for them, because of that lie of supremacy that some European, Germans, pioneer research in Rwanda, they ingrained them that they are superior to their brothers Hutu. They try to bring that policy into the whole region, and unfortunately, it cannot work like that. People need peace. People need to move forward. Like as a Congolese, I do know that even in Congo, we do have Congolese who we accept they are original from Rwanda, and we've been living in peace for many, many years. But from the time when Kagame came to power, yes, we knew since we were young, and by research now and by reading some reports, we know that they had that plan since the 80s to invade Congo and to capture Congo. But we didn't think that it will be to this extent of losing over 10 million civilians. That's really, really bad. But we hope that
that much.
Yeah, we hope that peace can be established in this region and people live in harmony again. So Kagame, but for that to happen, I think Kagame needs to be held accountable and his gang. So yeah, it's true. There is many reports there. People just need to do a bit of research and know the truth. So yeah.
Can I speak?
No, it's actually it's African and City than you, Castro. Go to Africa.
Yeah, greetings, Big Brother Dinus, everyone on the panel and on the chat, especially to you and Brother CD. First of all, my brother, you're right. Yeah, Rwanda, they've been used by different different countries. I wouldn't just say West. The Germans, the Belgians, and I think the last administration that was in power here, they was quite close to Rwanda, the British Conservative Party. And I used to look at him as a tough guy. He actually is as a Pan-African who have that Afrocentric mindset. But in the last, I would say 3 to 4 years, that's when I washed my hands on him. The reason why I did is because we had a government in this country, in the UK, who were really anti-black and anti-black immigration. And if he is the only African president who formed an alliance with that party, which is a conservative party. He actually signed a deal to actually accept asylum seekers to his country. And these asylum seekers are rejected asylum seekers that could be dangerous. Some of them were coming from the Middle East, potentially could be terrorists, some of them from Afghanistan, and to accept them to come into Rwanda to start a new life. He's supposed to be a guy that championing for African cause instead of having to accept the refugees from Rwanda or other countries in the continent. He wanted to accept refugees from the West into his country. What kind of leader is that? And That's when I start washing my hands on him. Yes, of course, Rwanda is there, to plunder the minerals in Congo. It's obvious, and I'm glad something has been done by, putting a stop to it, because that M23 group that you call, um, militia, they're terrorists. The amount of people that they killed in Congo is unbelievable, and I'm totally with the brother Omkal. I'm always with Congo. I think Congo should actually put the spotlight on Congo. That's the reason why, I spoke to him a bit more longer the last time I gave him more time. Well, yeah, I'll pass it for now. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dan.
All right, guys, hit that like button. Please hit that like button. If you have not hit the like button, hit the like button. Let me read this super chat. Cameroon Breezy Goat 903. Thank you for the $1.99 holla. I'm from Austin. The Senegalese shooter was from New York. Well, I mean, that makes sense because New York is, and Harlem has that very large Senegalese community. Go ahead, CD.
Hey guys, sit down. This is Africa.
Yes, sir. Yes, brother.
Yeah. My thought on Kagame, I said this before, he's the worst African president. Uh, it's very difficult for people that live in the West to go and see how Rwanda is developed, is clean. But this guy is evil. I'm telling you right now. With the number of opposition that he has killed in Rwanda and jailed them, and use Rwanda like his personal properties, And even now he's going as far as intervening in West African politics. He's the one that controlling the Guinean president right now, Amadi Doumbouya. But before he used to be friend of Alpha Conte, but now he's manipulating Doumbouya to loot the resources in Guinea to get it to take to Rwanda. So even all the journalists Doumbouya being arrested in Guinea, all the opposition that he been arresting, he jailed them in Rwanda, right? But there was a bridge that Alpha Conde was building in Conakry, and during the inauguration of that bridge, they named it after Kagame. So this guy is very, very evil, but he thought he was untouchable because I think his son went to West Point Military Barracks here. He, going to West Point is you go there by merit, but he spent a lot of money. He was in good relationship with the previous president. Uh, he had good relationship with Obama, good relationship with Biden. But most of the time, West was sympathizing with him because of the genocide in Rwanda to try to cover up because they fucked up doing the genocide in Rwanda. So people were sympathized, but they didn't know what this guy was, the damage that he was doing in Africa. He's very, very, very evil. And I'm glad that America was able to see that. He's been looting Congo for years. Where is he getting that resource? Rwanda doesn't have resources. How he able to build his country?
Don't
He's been
forget, he
looting this
he
country
did
for
it. He
years.
did it for the Americans, though. He did it for them, the Americans in Britain.
Yeah, but that's why. But you have to,
But they
succumb to that.
backed
Why
him.
you
They
gotta go?
backed him. He
Because
did it for
Congo is
them.
a huge country.
Hey, can you let him finish? Can
Let
you
me
let him
finish.
finish what he's saying?
Congo is a very big country. When you look at the size of the country, you can't. You even have to take a plane to travel in certain part of the country because there's no infrastructure to travel. It's a huge country, so he take advantage of that and just go and loot the resources of this country. You know, but again, he prepared his kid to take over Rwanda. You know, but the reason is it being very easy for him to rule Rwanda because it's not like other African countries. It's only two Sin Hutus, only two tribes. But now they don't even have a tribe anymore. So it's easy for him to control them, right? If it were like country that have in the 5, 6, or 15 tribes, I don't think he were going to be able to control them this way. But he's very, very evil. But he pretend to be Pan-African, but he's not. This guy is really, really evil. But I'm glad that America were able to see this going. Even during their peace talk, I could see the body language of the Congolese president when they were three of them standing together, he and Trump and the Congolese president. he kept a distance away because Trump did not know the way the game that Paul Kagame was playing. But Congolese president was keeping a distance away from it. So even when they gave them the document that they signed, he didn't even want to show it because he knew this whole peace process is not real. You know, Kagame is looting my country. But now through satellite, through other technology, I think America were able to know that this guy is looting his neighbor resources. But I was reading for now.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Costa.
Peace, Dinaz. Peace to everybody on the panel. Well, not peace to everybody on the panel. Hail to everybody on the panel. All I hear is a bunch of whiny babies talking about Kagame. He's evil this, he's evil that. He is looting the resources for the West, but then the West is slapping sanctions on him. So if he's looting the resources for America and Britain, why is America slapping sanctions on Kagame for the resources that he's looting for them? This shit, it don't make no sense. I believe Paul Kagame is the most qualified leader in Africa based on his military prowess. He got a royal family. Let's compare Felix Tshisekedi and his family to Paul Kagame and his family. No one ever castigates Felix Tshisekedi for what he's doing or what he's not doing in the Congo. Everybody can loot the Congo. The world can loot the Congo. America, China, anybody you can think of, Russia. Everybody can loot in Africa. But as soon as Africans start to gain access to some of those resources in the same way that these other countries and entities have been looting the Congo and Africa, now all of a sudden it's a problem. I don't have an issue with a black man going into Congo and taking those resources and weaponizing those resources for the better good of Africans. Rwanda is a model country in terms of African countries. It's the only country that I see where ain't no damn trash in the streets. And a lot of people say that's just the capital, Kigali. Oh, yeah, but for that to happen in Kigali, that's really impressive. I live in Chicago, and you can't go a block without seeing trash on the floor. So, like, for them to get that city and to get it clean, that shows me that they got the right interest in mind. M23, when they taking over territory in the Congo, the first thing they doing, and it may look like propaganda, but the first thing they doing is they cleaning the streets. Something that these Congolese people could have did yesterday or the day before that or last week or 2 years ago or a decade ago. Y'all over there sitting in filth and then y'all whining that it's a black man coming and cleaning things up. Oh, he's killing millions and millions of people. How many people did the Chinese kill indirectly and directly? How many people did the Russians kill and United States of America and the UK directly and indirectly with meddling in the Congo? Taking Patrice Lumumba out and installing a puppet government to do their bidding. And that same regime is still in power today. Felix Tshisekedi looked like a black milk dog. That nigga looked like I'm sorry.
Hey, that's a $10. That's a $10
Yeah,
holla.
fine.
That's $10 here.
Holla was cooking,
Can he pay now,
Fine.
Dennis? Can you tell him pay right now, please?
No, fine,
Before he
because he's
continue?
talking nonsense anyway.
Yeah,
but
let
fine.
him pay.
Fine him.
Yeah, that's a $10. It's a $10. I'm gonna put the cash app. I'm gonna put the cash app on the screen, and you know.
Yeah, call Kagame and tell him to send you that bill.
I just want to end with saying this.
No, cash. You can cash. We got it. Now on, when you drop in where you gotta pay.
You don't know what he's talking about anyway. So.
Yeah, let me get generous statement.
Dude just want a black face on white supremacy. It's crazy.
He just heard somebody from the Congo speaking. He just heard me from the 1990s when he was in his Pampers.
You see, speak about the Congos. So you can't come tell us nothing.
And he's talking about Chinese looting Congo, so the other Africans should loot Congo.
Yeah,
Make no sense. Making general statement make no sense.
He's not saying y'all wrong. He just won't do it. So I guess he gets some type of reward from it from his people, but he's not getting no main benefits. Like it's been like you said, Kigali's the only place in Rwanda that's I guess that they can boast of being clean. From what our people that have been there,
Namibia,
they say that outside of the capital, it's not really nothing. It's just like regular Africa.
No, it's clean. The whole thing is clean. The village, everything is clean. But Namibia is extremely clean. Botswana extremely clean. There's several places.
Yeah.
But these people don't go and loot people country. This guy is this guy who making a statement. He's just making general statements. So this guy loot, Chinese loot, white loot. So everybody should go and loot people country. We're trying to make sense of what is going on. And he just making some general statements.
Especially he could have access to the Congo fairly anyway. He could have all the access he wanted to the Congo if everything was clear.
Hey guys, go ahead, call.
Yeah, I want to answer my brother there and giving him references that can help him at his own time. Brother, I will help you. Please go read this journal. If you have a computer, I know you have a phone, you can Google Guardian, America's Secret Role in the Rwanda Genocide by Helen C. Epstein. And on paragraph 10th, you'll understand then on paragraph 30, the paragraph 30 of that piece, you'll understand why you love Kagame so much. And why is it? It's because, let me read it, let me see if I can quickly get there. It's because here in the United States, when Kagame came to train, he was trained in psyops and propaganda, how to win hearts and minds of people. And that's what Kagame specialized in. That's why a lot of people.
Exactly.
And there is another guy who commented spoke in the comments. This is what happened in Rwanda. Kagame knew how to hide their crime, the crime of RPF. Because, for example, when they took the north part of Rwanda, and this is how a lot of their Hutu brothers came to be so afraid of this movement. They analyzed a lot of people, but because they knew how to hide those crimes, even the press was not allowed in the area. Even when they start moving in the Gabiro area, there are still mass graves of which RPF created that have never been discovered yet. So they knew how to analyze hundreds of thousands of their brothers there without the press noticing. But the people who were in power and the Hutu, because they were under sanctions and the media were on them, whatever they were doing, it was filmed. And unfortunately, I don't know if to say fortunately or unfortunately, some of it, because they thought they have power, it was on camera. That's why a lot of people think only the Hutus did the crime, but both parts participated in that crime. Now, to the brother was saying about Kagame, cleanliness, and the Goma. My friend, you know what M23 did? It's propaganda, but I'll tell you. When I was young, we used the wall of Congo every Saturday. Used to do that type of thing, cleaning of the city. We call it in Congolese language, we call it Salongo. It's Lingala. It's not something which come from Rwanda. That's our tradition. But it's only because of the bad governance and I would say the so-called democracy. There is a time when people were no longer doing that, and the mismanagement of Mobutu and later on even under Joseph Kabila. But you're not going to tell me that before M23 Goma wasn't clean. Goma was clean. Goma is among the cleanest city of Congo. Yeah. So that's not something that. That's not something. I've seen the videos. You're absolutely right. Another thing about West saying that why, if Kagame was doing it for the West, why the West are imposing sanctions? Man, the Western world is not monolithic. I'll tell you, for example, because of our work, because I've been an activist in the US for a while.
Guys, hold on one second. Casher has paid his tariff. Casher, you're more than welcome to come.
Beautiful.
Back on, my brother. He paid his tariff. Go ahead, Casher. You're more than welcome to come on. Go ahead. Call.
Yes. Kagame's support before, for example, before the Congolese really goes on gear, and with the help of some of our FBA brothers, Kagame had support in all international institutions and in the US. But with our work, the State Department some individual there, they start, putting a little bit of pressure on Kagame, but he still had a lot of support in Pentagon. Now with this deal, it doesn't say that the West doesn't still support Kagame. Kagame, for example, has a lot of support from the Clinton gangs, comparatively to the Trump gang. That's why, because Trump is in office, Congolese are using some of the Trump, people to help them, and then with time, the Clinton gang as well, we will be able to, to block them. But it doesn't mean that he was not doing it in the West. You can look at the people who have been in joint venture with Kagame in doing the mines. It's some American guys. I can give you the names of even company, the American Mineral Fields. It's back to Kagame. There was Astrada, So there is those companies. So it's not like they are against him. And when you speak about Kagame being the best, man, I don't think that the Chinese have unalived even 100,000, or even due to their indirect action in Congo, they've unalived 100,000 of Congolese. No. I don't think that the Russians have unalived Congolese. No. But Kagame, with his action in Congo, this is not, this is by credible report. You can search for IRC, the American event.
It's the big black boogeyman. Don't worry about anybody else.
Don't get it here. Let him man finish. Let him man finish.
I'm giving you facts, research. I myself, who I'm talking to you, in the month August last year, I lost my brother in the hands of Kagame's gangs in Goma, because I'm from that area. In the 2001, let me tell you, in 2001, I lost my dad in the hands of Kagame's gang. Okay, from 1996 to 1998, my family lost more than $180,000 worth of business in the Kagame gangs. If you want, I can show you video of how they are pillaging one of our stores. It is now on video, because today the technology is not the same like in 1996. Now we have video cameras, we have even video installed.
Can you show me how the Congolese soldiers are doing
the same thing? Don't interrupt him.
Oh man, come on, stop.
So it's not like you are talking to people who doesn't know. I know. I've been in Rwanda. I've stayed in Rwanda. I can speak in Rwanda.
Yeah, I feel like you cap, bro. I feel like you cap.
I'm a Congolese who can tell you the truth. I can give even references, okay? Go read that journal,
bro. Yeah, just trust me, bro.
Man, come on, bro. He done lost blood. He got family he lost, bro. He tweaking, bro. What's to you?
All he doing is trying to pull on people's heartstrings.
He's being serious,
I'm
bro.
looking at this from a strategic standpoint. No emotion.
There's nothing strategic about it.
You lost somebody over there. It sounds like you. If that's the case, it sounds like you need to pick up a gun and go over there and do something about it then, right?
No.
Y'all play too much, bro.
I'm just saying, I live in Chicago. Somebody killed my brother. I'm gonna pick up a gun and I'm going to try to kill him.
No. That sounds good on the internet, man.
That's the law of the land where I'm from.
Listen, that sounds good on the internet.
You gotta sympathize with
you ain't never did no direct military action, bro.
Grown man trying to
it's easy to shoot somebody on the block, bro.
That's all I hear.
You're not even sympathizing
bro.
with
It's easy to kill somebody on the block.
Man trying to sway people with emotionalism.
He telling you he lost direct people, so he knows verbatim that they doing it. He ain't trying to pull on nobody heartstring.
But he will leverage that. He will say it was M23, but he will not say that the Congolese soldiers, because they being underpaid, that they got to rob and pillage their own citizens.
Listen, guy.
He said they do it too before.
Wow. We want to learn from this Congolese guy. We want to learn from him, please.
Can you just learn from him?
Cash it over. Let him land. Carl, you got a minute.
Cash over, but am I gonna say that everything which is not going right in Congo is because of Kagame? No, I can't say that. Yes, the Congolese leadership has some hands in that, but also you have to understand that it didn't start only in 1996. It started with Mobutu, the imposition of Mobutu. Mobutu did something great, but again, because of his dictatorship, he he killed the army which he built himself. With that vacuum of the army, Rwanda, Uganda, and Burundi, which were sponsored by Western multinational, they were able to come in quickly and do whatever they could do and alive and infiltrate even the army. Does all the blame have to go to Kagame? No, but he has a lot of blame. He has to be held accountable for his part of the destabilization of our country, our eastern part of country. For example, let me give you an example. You can complain Congo doesn't have roads. Do you know that we were on our way to build a road from my city of origin, which is Uvira? Look at it on the map, from Uvira to Goma. But all those engines, the material, I can show you on video. They were planted by.
Don't waste your time, man. This guy don't even know any part of Congo. He doesn't know anything about Congo. He just talks shit.
Okay. All right, I'll end there.
Yeah, to be honest, to me, it seemed like Congo is just like the rest of the continent. They're easily being used by outsiders against one another, and especially that region because they've been fighting for too long.
Hey, they used to call Shaka Zulu evil. Like they said what he was doing back then was evil. Like you ask some people today, they'll still say that he was evil, he was bad. And you got people over here in the West who revere Shaka Zulu. So all I'm saying is Paul Kagame, he appears to be a modern day Shaka Zulu. Look at the man's family. And not only did his son study
what family got to do with how he treats people?
Hold on, let me just finish.
The family got nothing to do with that. Dictator take care of their family.
His family has a lot to do with his success.
Look at Gaddafi. Dictator take care of their family. That's all they want. They take care of their own family. It doesn't make no sense. With his
success. His kids have studied at the top military institutions in the world. It wasn't just West Point. They studied at the military institute in Israel. They studied at a military institute in China. They have gotten military.
I don't know about that.
That's run of the mill. That's run of the mill. That's run of the mill for corrupt African leaders, bro. All corrupt African leaders send their children to the best schools.
Yeah,
that's regular.
Yeah. So why would you talk about his family? His family got nothing to do with
There's no other qualified leader in Africa other than Paul Kagame right now. Paul Kagame is the most qualified leader.
Okay.
He's proven himself in battle. He can fight. We need somebody who can fight.
Okay, that's your opinion.
We need somebody who's gonna sit up and cry.
Okay, hold on.
We don't need somebody who's gonna cry and blame everything on everybody else. Like y'all, this is what Congolese people do. Y'all blame it on everybody. Ain't no blame on y'all. Ain't no.
But give us some information.
Bro, they in the most resource-rich place on earth. They in the most resource-rich place on earth. Nobody got the most external pressure. Nobody in the world got more external pressure on them.
Listen,
especially with the tech boom.
He got a big belly.
The only thing I can agree with. The only thing I can agree with
everything. We want you to give us some
support. I'm a disciplined man when I see one. Paul Kagame is a disciplined man. Chesekedi is not a disciplined man.
He's a trained soldier.
Shaking hands with Netanyahu.
So y'all would rather let foreign entities.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing?
The coltan.
Nah, I'd rather neither. Cause you act like he's doing military expositions against them to stop doing it. No, he's working in tandem with them. And now that they got sanctions on him,
so if he's working in tandem with them, why are they slapping sanctions on him? You can't have
it because they don't need him. America's doing what they always do with their cronies. When you're not useful no more, they throw you to the side.
That you really know. Tell us one thing. Because you're not telling us anything that we want to listen to. Tell us one thing that you
because they got a direct deal now with the government. They don't got to do it through back channel means with the multinational corporations. The U.S. government has a direct deal now. They want direct access to the coltan because of the AI. With the Congolese government. That's what the sanctions are about. The stipulation in the sanctions was because they told him to leave. He didn't. They have intel. He didn't leave. So now they put sanctions on him. The U.S. need to leave too. China need to leave too. But the
U.S. is not leaving though, and China is not leaving. So we know stay there. Kagame needs to be there because we need something
the people in the Congos.
Bro, he's not for no African, bro. He's for himself and his ethnicity and his family and his direct family. He's not for nobody else, bro.
Listen, if he's for himself, I'm okay with that because that's you being for an African. At the end of the day, he's African.
Bro, you okay with all puppet leaders then? You okay with all puppet leaders then? Because that's exactly what they do. You good with Ouattara too?
I'm sorry?
You good with Ouattara too? In Cote d'Ivoire, you good with him?
No, I'm not really familiar with that guy, but
But what do you know about Congo? What do you know about Congo? Tell us. What do you know? Because you're not telling us anything. You wouldn't say his family, and you don't even know
how
about
do
his
I
family.
answer
Only
that
one of his
question
son went
though?
to West
How do
Point.
I answer your question? That's such a vague question.
Tell us something about Congo that we want to hold on to. Because history,
I can
because they're
tell you,
generalizing everything.
I can
You make a
tell you.
general statement.
Let me, you asked me a question. Let me finish it for you.
Okay.
I can tell you that M23 is absolutely putting belt to ass to the Congolese people, and all y'all doing is crying. All y'all doing
But
is
that's not
whining.
history,
White
sir.
man, come
You're not
save
telling
me
us
from my
anything.
big brother who whooping my ass. White man, please save me. I'd rather you kick my ass than my brother kick my ass. Please
That's
come
that
save me.
history.
That's
You're not
all I
telling us
hear.
anything.
That's all I hear from the
Bro,
Congo.
he don't view
Just
it.
a
He don't
bunch
view
of
himself
complaining
as
from the
their brother,
West.
Do you
man.
know what? Do
He
you know
don't
what? Do
view
you know
them.
what? Do you
He
know
don't
what?
view
Complaining
himself.
from the
He
West.
think he's superior to
Guys.
them, man.
Listen,
No,
the
well,
Congo
Casta,
shouldn't exist.
Casta made a good point
It
though.
shouldn't
Hang on,
exist.
Casta
It's
make
a
it a good
failed
point.
experiment as a
Casta,
country.
you make a good point there. You made a good point. That's one
You
trend
can't
I
even
noticed about that
secure
region.
your
Hang on,
borders.
hold
It's
on,
too
hold
big
on,
for
hold
you.
on, hold on.
It's too
Hold
big
on, you
for
made
you
a
to
good
take
point.
care of
You
that
made a
whole
good
place.
Kasha,
God.
calm down. Let other people
Calm down.
speak.
You made a good point, okay?
I have a side
When
note, Dennis. Al, I got a
no, hold
side
on,
note.
okay.
A
Okay, one
side
second.
note.
Casta, the way you made a good point is when two African brothers are fighting and they run away and say, "Oh, big brother, come and help me fight against my next brother." Is the big? This is our downfall. It's always been our downfall. Actually, that region. Okay, it started like Congo and Rwanda. The Germans was there, the Belgians were there, the British were there. You know, so they've been used time and time and time and time. But what is causing this? What is it beneath? What is it under the belly? What is causing all this problem? What is causing these brothers to do that? Is it their mindset? Is it because they've been put into so much pressure they have no choice? Is it because the entire African continent and the African Union have abandoned them? Is it because of the one of the Abrahamic religion that we know, which is Catholicism that's been embedded in them? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves, not just keep ranting. Okay, you made a good point. I agree with that. Absolutely. The Congo they always have seek help from outsiders instead of seeking help from their own neighbors or their own brothers. I agree with that, Kasha. That's the only point that you made. That actually is quite
But
valid. I agree with that.
Kagame is not their brother
That's not
though.
the only point that I made that's valid. That's
I know.
just the only one that you
Mm.
agree with, and that's okay. I'm not your cup of tea, and I'm not most people cup of tea. But at the
No,
end of
that's
the day,
fine, bro. But let's
at the
respect each
end of the
other's
day,
opinion, okay?
at the
Okay.
end of the day,
Al, can I say something?
M23, they
All right,
Yes,
Congolese
yes,
too.
Tahaka, yes.
okay,
Y'all trying to make it seem like they.
Kasha, go ahead, Taraka.
Okay. Like this, the other brother just said. The Congo is an extremely special space. Everybody's been fighting over it for the past over 200-300 years. They've been fighting over since slavery colonialism. They've been fighting over it because of what
Exactly.
it have on the ground.
Thank you.
It's worth about $30 trillion under the ground. That's how much it's worth, right? They have the as we know, some of the most important minerals known to man, and they're not going to give it up like that, right? Um, Rwanda, Paul Kagame also have his soldiers in Mozambique, um, causing trouble, protecting the gas fields for a European company, right? So they're the one who stirring up trouble, backing those rebels, right, along with their soldiers in Mozambique, right? So they over there too, right? So everything that he does, and it benefit him and his country because everybody knows how Paul how Rwanda looks, right? There's so much that Formula One, which is one of my sport that I watch, is considering Rwanda, right, to have a Africa race, right, and it's between Rwanda and Abuja, Nigeria, right. Those are the two cities they considering. So, and Abuja is, I mean, Nigeria is huge, so it would make sense for them, but Rwanda is small and tiny. So I'm just trying to say how much power they reeling right now. They're already in soccer. I think they sponsor part of Real Madrid, one of those teams, right? And so that's to show you what type of thing they're building. All right, they're trying to build Singapore in that area, right there. That's why they have so much investment from all over the world.
No,
So
they carry PSG, then Arsenal carry Rwanda jersey.
right, I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes,
but
yes.
that's to show what they're building. They're trying to build a sports country, and they're trying to build a logistic country in that area, and they're trying to build a hub for that area. All right, so
All of which I believe will benefit African people.
yes, it would if he
So
wasn't the
why are
type of
we so
person that he is.
why are we so against this? Why are
Nah,
we
he's not trying to benefit. If he was going out there with the M23 and also if
Right.
the Congolese people were collateral
Can you
damage and he
explain
was
how
actually
he's
getting the
not
U.S.
trying to benefit it for the greater
And
good of
disabled
Africa?
because he's stealing,
If he
bro.
was going out there, trying to neutralize the people with the multinational corporations like the Chinese, the United States too as well, they're not gonna see where you coming from. But he's
And how
working
would
in
you do
direct.
that?
He's working
How
in
would that
direct
look?
tandem with them.
How
So
would it look to neutralize them? Like you said that neutralize. How would it look to do that?
neutralize. I just used the word neutralize because I didn't want to use the K word,
Yeah.
KILL. I don't want to say that on the
Well, I
internet.
understand that, but yeah,
But
I'm not talking about just going out and outright going against America. That's going to be tough to do. What I'm saying
I'm
is,
saying, but
whatever's
again,
trickling
you
off,
talking
try
about
to get
Shaka
whatever's
Zulu.
trickling
Shaka
off to
Zulu ain't
build up
care.
something
So I
from
don't.
that. And it seems to be that seems to be what he's doing. Everything that he
Not
does,
no,
every
but
money, all the money
brother,
that he touches
you
seems to go into that military industrial complex in
you
Rwanda.
paint a picture like he's doing something of just cause. He's not. Like he's destroying millions of people to benefit a little bit of people. Rwanda's population compared to the people that he's destroying, that's minuscule. And the
All right,
people that's directly benefiting is not, it's not even that much percentage wise.
all right,
And
let me pass.
that type of stuff is what regular puppet leaders do. So he's
Let me
no
pass the
different
mic.
from the regular
So
puppet leader.
I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead. Trocon, unmute yourself. Trocon, unmute yourself. Trocon, unmute yourself. All right, go ahead, call.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I would like to respond. I heard the brother. Yes, Rwanda. Yes, they know how to market themselves, and because they get training from, it's not bad if it's for their country. You know, if it was not the way how they are engaged in Congo with unaliving our people, but you know, if it was working like what President Tshisekedi suggested before, because what this guy who's 100% on Rwanda doesn't know, I understand he doesn't have much information about the region, is that Congolese leader actually, starting from Joseph Kabila, they engage with Rwanda to go in win-win deals like joint venture, and they stop this, you know, fighting or unaliving people in Congo. And he said, yes, he raised a great point. How could Rwanda invade Congo and Congo is behind, or saying this, my young brother is, man, yeah, I understand not everybody has the gift of understanding geopolitics. Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, we did not manufacture guns or ammunition. So there are people, these people who manufacture all this, when they put us in sanction over years, for example, Mobutu was in sanction for over 15 years, and that crippled his economy and the military. And that's how Rwanda was able to invade Congo. Even the Joseph Kabila was also under sanctions up to the Tshisekedi regime. It's now that they are now leaving some of the sanctions, for example, the notification when Congo couldn't buy guns for many years. And that's how Rwanda was able, because they had free oil, you know, they had the latest technology provided to them even by Poland. So all that. But did Congo really run first to the United States? No, this conflict, Congo tried to solve this conflict with Rwanda using African ways. They started in East African community, but Rwanda, because it know that it has a support of the small hats and the Western superpower like the Anglo-Saxon, the US and stuff, they couldn't accept the decision of EAC. Congo tried the African Union. You know, there was talks in Angola. Again, Rwanda, they played their games to take it to Doha, because Doha has invested heavily in Rwanda, and they are backing Kagame. That's how Tshisekedi played the game with the work which was being done in the US. We told them now, the administration which is now, we can do this and do in this way parliamentarily, it can work. That's how it happened. It's because Rwanda, every time when there was a resolution, Rwanda have never agreed, or it's never respected those resolutions, man. Okay, I saw a comment somebody talking about the eastern part of Congo, saying that Ruchuru or those names in eastern part of Congo, they're Kinyarwanda. That's a lie. That's a propaganda, man. If you read the history of Rwanda, I can recommend, there is a book, Kings and Clans. You'll understand that the pre-colonial Rwanda was not this bigger as the current Rwanda. That's a lie. That's a propaganda. Pre-colonial Rwanda was not reaching the side. For example, Professor Nyagahene, who's a Rwanda, he said that the pre-colonial Rwanda was not even in Kinyaga. So to say that there was a part of Congo which was Rwanda, that's a lie. For example, the name which they call Ruchuru. Ruchuru is not Kinyarwanda. Ruchuru and all those words like Nyiragongo, they are from local Congolese tribal language. For example, Kihunde, Mashi, Kifuliru. For example, Ruchuru, it's a word of that area which comes from Kihunde language. It means Luichiulo. It's when this explorer arrived in that area and they ask the local people, what's the name of this area? The local people, because there was that problem of communication, they said Luichiulo. It means in Kihunde, that is a river. The explorer wrote Luchuru because that's what they had. And this is how this name came to be transformed now with pronunciation to Ruchuru. Nyiragongo is not, Nyiragongo come from the Kihunde Niina Ongo, because at that mountains, in the tradition of Bahunde, they used to believe that because of that fire, that the place where God used to reside, it's a residence of God Ongo. In our language, you call God Ongo. That's how they call Niina Ongo. That's how they used to call that place. To the point where the colonizer wrote it Nyiragongo, but it's not Kinyarwanda, my brother. Actually, if you read history well and do documentation, but for example, let's not take Congolese side or Rwandan side, by colonizer, both Germans and Belgian documentation, they will tell you that before the Convention of 1910, which puts the definitive border between Congo, the side of Goma, to Rwanda, that area which you call Gisenyi, it comes from Kihunde word Kishenyi, which means Kieshenyi. It means a place to go get firewoods, because that area was the Bahundo area where they used to go get firewoods. And the Luhengere, it's also Kihunde. So it's only 1910 when Rwanda, because the Germans, they fought with Belgium. There was a big conflict there between the 1890 to the 1900s. So the German occupied the island of Ijwi. So the Belgian now, they had to negotiate with the German, the Belgian and the German, so that to have that border. Belgium.
Yeah, I mean, Congo used to be a bit. My dad used to go there. He's in that.
So the German left island, you know.
Can I ask you a question? Did you get a chance? I think
his mic keeps cutting in and out, brother. Your mic is going in and out.
If you guys want to make money in Africa, that's the place to make money, Congo.
Yeah, so now,
there should be a lot of West Africa.
Last point. Yes, Rwanda has the right to develop itself, has the right to, to make deals, but not on the expenses of Congolese or trying to unalive Congolese. People can work together. There are resources, for example, the methane gas, which is in Lake Kivu, we can exploit together. For example, the mountain gorilla. Do you know that a lot of mountain gorilla that Rwanda is showing to the world, they are actually from Congo?
Oh my God, bro.
I can give you the international, the World Wildlife Protection report, and you can read it by
Congo.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay. Yes.
Let me ask you a quick question. Before colonization, what was the area called? What was that entire area called?
So before colonization, in the Congo side, we had many kingdoms. We had empires. For example, the Lunda Empire, we had the Congo Kingdom, we had the Luba. But on this area of eastern part, we had other small kingdoms. For example, the Buhunde. The Buhunde, do you see all this area where there is Goma? All that area was the Buhunde Kingdom. South to that, there was the Bushi. That was another kingdom. And the south to that, there was my people, the Bafuliru and Bavira. But on the east side of the Lake Kivu, there was other small kingdom. For example, there was Bunyambiriri, there was Bugoi. And then the area where there is
relevant to Paul Kagame.
Hold on. You asked me a question. Hold on.
Let me answer my question.
Cash. Let him answer the question.
All right. Now, do you see the area where Kigali is today? That's where there was a small kingdom which used to be called the Central Rwandan Kingdom. But now, since the 1800s, this small kingdom starts conquering and going into agreement with other small kingdoms, for example, Bunyambiriri, Gisaka, and this is how Rwanda came to be bigger. Now, on the side of Congo, the Arabs, with the Arab slave catchers, they came and fought with our people. Our people tried to unite so as to fight the Arabs. While we were still fighting the Arabs, the Europeans also start coming in. This is how now Henry Morton Stanley went in those small kingdoms, for example, the Bushi, and they tricked them to sign, a document saying that they agree to be a colony.
Queen Nzinga?
That's the other story. No. This is Queen Nzinga. Queen Nzinga is on the west part of Congo, which is Angola.
I have a question for you.
Okay. Let me finish. Now, Henry Morton Stanley took agreement with all these kingdoms. For example, the Buhunde, the Bushi, the Buvira, the Bufuliru, the Bakongo, the Lunda, the Luba. And this is what made the country which you see today as a Congo. But among all those people who agreed and signed that document, there was no Munyarwanda chief there was no Banyarwanda among those land which was put together to create today's Congo.
All right, so my question is...
These borders did not exist.
My question is...
That's not true. That's not really true. Because, remember, if you study African history, you will know that even villages, to go from one kingdom to another kingdom, if you didn't report yourself to a chief of a village, you could be unalived. Because
you mean a king?
Yes, because when you go to that village, the people of the village have to take you to the chief of village. You see how it used to work?
Say king.
Yes. Then the chief of village will inform the king. That we have some visitors. So you cannot say that totally there was no borders. There was borders, but it's not like today's modern borders.
I said they were not Rwanda.
So, Omkal, do you think, the problem in the having central... Anyway,
but what I'm saying
is, this guy is not going to let anybody speak.
Nah, it's just annoying as hell. Do you think the problem you have in Congo, if you put the government aside...
These people, they flew between the two borders. Like, you didn't find them on one border and one border.
Listen, no one is acknowledging your talk anyway.
Let me answer. I can answer that according to facts. If you read the book, for example, 2,000 years of history in how is it called again, by Professor Richens. Of course, among people, there was exchange, there was business done. Like our people, the Bashi, they used to go to Rwanda to sell stuff, to Bunyambiriri. Actually, there is areas, trade. There is area in today's Rwanda, which, for example, Busozo, if you ask any Munyarwanda, Busozo and Bukunzi, there are Bashi there who are originally from Congo. They migrated there doing trade and they occupied that area. So, but that area in the 18th century, it was not Rwanda yet. Now, of course, there were also Banyarwanda, people from central Rwanda or from Bunyambiriri, coming to trade with people in Buhunde. Of course there was, but they were going back and forth. Do you understand?
Okay.
People were trading and going back
sense.
and forth. Yeah,
that
but
makes
it
sense.
doesn't mean that
My
they
question,
had land. Yeah.
you're right. My question is, the problem in Congo is it the kings who own the land? Like the paramount chiefs, who own the land. Are they the people they're actually outsourcing the land to these multinational corporations? Being taken backhand instead of working with the government, or is the government that is actually imposing these companies upon the people that own the land? That's the question for you.
So, okay, so according to Congolese law, this is what they acknowledge. The paramount chief, and the local people, the people have the right to the land, but it doesn't mean that you cannot buy land to build to farm, to build your farm, to do all this.
No, I'm talking about mining. I'm talking about the mining.
Yes, the mining lands. There is, according to Congolese law, all the land is owned by the state, but the state has some what is it called? It's called royalties. There is the state have to give some percentage of that wealth back to the local chief and local people for their development. But because of this these misleaders who have been imposed on Congo, that law has never been really followed up on as it's supposed to be. So they always cut corners somehow.
So recently, Mike Tyson was there, right? Mike Tyson went to Congo.
Yeah, to Congo, yes.
And then George Foreman and Muhammad Ali had a fight there way back in the days, right?
1960, 70 something, 74, 75, yeah.
Right. So that's the time my dad was there. He went there specifically for diamond.
Wow.
My dad is a diamond broker, so he traveled Sierra Leone, Liberia, and went to Congo. He spent some years there. He told me a lot about Congo, but I think there's a lady that so he mentioned about the Leo. There's a Leo tribe in Nairobi, right? Are they originally from Congo?
Somebody has feedback. I think it's hold on. There we go. Go ahead, City.
Yeah. There's a Leo tribe in Nairobi. When I went there, they said they were originally from Congo, right? Is it Leo? Congolese?
Omka.
The Luo. The Luo. So there is a lot of tribe around Africa who are traced their origin to Congo. I know this one, the Kikuyus. The Kikuyus. Okay. Yeah, not the Luos, but yeah. We have the cousins to the Luo. We call them Alur.
Exactly.
Yes. They are Alur. Right. Yes, they are cousin. Yes.
But Siri, do you know? Even also our ancestors are mixed with the people from Congo and those from Sudan. You know that because it's those that come from Sudan that settle around the Niger area, and those that came from Congo is what made most of us in West Africa today. Yeah, that's why you call the Niger Congo people. So we are related to this brother that's speaking. Yeah.
Let me give you one thing which probably you've never heard about Congo, which it can be like a secret. I believe, from my understanding and from what I've researched and study about all that area between Congo, Uganda, Tanzania. So this area, if you can look at if you know them, you can localize where the Lake Victoria is and the Lake Albert in Congo and Uganda border, and Lake Tanganyika. I believe, from my understanding and from my traditional training, this is the area where you can say it's a cradle. It was a cradle of human being. If there is, for example, if you are Christian and believe there was a Garden of Eden, that's probably where the Garden of Eden used to be localized. If you believe, I don't know, human evolved, I believe that area, even scientifically, you can trace the oldest bones of human being in that area. So what happened? There is many civilization that came from this area. For example, the Ishango bone. If you've heard about Ishango bone, it's from the Congolese side where 40,000 years ago, they were calculating also, doing what? If you've heard about pyramids, actually in the northern east part of Congo, there is an area called Api. Scientists have discovered that.
You got 1 minute. I got to pass the collar.
Okay. So I believe there is something that the Western, other than minerals only, other than mineral wealth, there is other thing that Western knows, which they are keeping secret to other people, that a lot of Africans don't know about the Congo area. And that's why they are using all this force to destabilize that area. So that's whenever I have time, I can expand on that. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Kala.
Stay on the line. Stay on the line, okay?
Go ahead, Kala. Unmute yourself, Kala. Unmute yourself, Kala.
We got an Obama phone.
Go ahead, Kala.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Kala.
Like I said,
Yeah, man, calling on these Obama phones, man. Come on, guys. I gotta stop calling on Obama phones. All right, go ahead, call. Call.
So yeah, thank you.
Can I ask you a question before we go any further?
All right, yeah.
Let me ask you a quick question. I read that the Congo River could power all of Africa and half of Europe. Is that true?
Yeah. That's this is an old study. This is a study done in the 1960 something. And yes, Congo River has the power. If exploited, it can power the whole of Africa and even some part of Western Europe.
Half of Europe.
Yes, but that's because of the destabilization that took place in Congo in 1996, and the imposed misleaders who we have. That all power has never really been exploited, and it's not only the Congo. It's not only that part of Congo River. That's one area of Congo River. If you go upwards, the Congo River, because in Congo we have many rivers. Like the city town where I'm from, where my dad is from, every 2 or 3 miles you will find a river.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a second question for you.
Beautiful
so is Mobutu Sese Seko, is that Congolese name or is West African name?
No, Mobutu Sese Seko is a Congolese, because remember in Congo we have more than 450 something tribes of people or ethnic group who live together. It's a lie. It's a proper. If they tell you that Congolese are fragmented, they don't unite, they don't like each other, that's a lie. That's a propaganda. We have more than 450 tribes which live together. We consider that as our wealth. We never fought together. And Mobutu, although I didn't like him, because remember I told you I was raised up in the Lumumbist family. I never liked Mobutu much, but after my studies and the research, there is something. Everybody, it's like this Kagame. Everybody has this good side and bad side.
Yeah.
The pros and the cons. The good side, the good thing which Mobutu did, he kind of like mixed all these tribes together. So he used to do what? If you are from the east, he will send you to go work in the west. If you're from the west, he send you in the north or east and south. And this is how everybody came to know about everybody else's culture, and we become kind of united. But now the Western didn't like that. They tried for many years to see how they can destabilize this country. So they use our brothers who we welcomed since the 1920 from, our neighbors from Rwanda, and the 1959, 1937 to kind of create all this mess. But yes, Mobutu Sese Seko is a purely Mbandi, is a Mbandi local tradition language.
So that sounds more of like West African name. That's what I was wondering.
West African name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you
Sissoko, we have Sissoko in West Africa. It's a very known popular last name.
Yeah. The Diners, can I ask you a question?
The broadcast was supposed to be about.
How did that work out?
Y'all over here talking about Mobutu and.
Diners probably stepped out.
Yeah, so I think CD, what you're saying, what I know is there's a lot of tribes in Congo who migrated to where we are in the far west today. So some of our people are actually from that region. They are from Congo in West Africa. Yeah, it's always been the case. They travel to the River Niger, from Central Africa to the River Niger and settle where we are today. And it's a fact. That's why we are Niger Congo people. The language that we speak is Niger Congo.
Yeah,
for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's no doubt.
Even in some tradition, for example, what I was saying.
We got a new guest. I think Don has stepped away.
No, I'm here. I'm back. But I'm calling. You got 1 minute. I got to pass the caller.
Okay, it's Happy. What they discover at Happy, it is the earliest place where our ancestors were trying to manufacture the pyramids. So they studied what was happening, the stuff which they found at Happy in the northeastern part of Congo. They linked it to the pyramids building in the Meroe, in Sudan, in the
I read that.
Northern Sudan.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. That's exactly my. Thank you.
I read that. I read.
All right, guys, let me pass the mic. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, the title of the show is Trump slaps Rwanda with sanctions, right? For years, Dennis, I've been watching, like, particularly the BBC going after Kagame. You know, they manufacture these so-called opposition groups. They manufacture all these people, these so-called disillusioned dissidents from the Congo and whatnot. You know, they're in the UK and France and everything like that, living their life. You know, and they're always in on corrupt deals. Let me tell you something. Congo has more illegal mining than there is formal mining, you know, by warlords, bandits, and all kinds of stuff like that. That's what's going on in the Congo, you know? So therefore, the question, you ask yourself this question. If Paul Kagame was such a puppet of the West, why is he always constantly being under sanction and being scrutinized by the British and the Western countries? That doesn't make any logical sense. Can anybody come up with a thing? Oh, that's a ploy.
That's what I said. You can't have it both ways.
Paul Kagame is not on sanction.
He's not. What do you mean constantly under sanctions, man? What are you talking about?
What
are you talking constantly under those sanctions?
So in other words, hold on. Did you hear what Paul Kagame said the other day to Trump? Tell him to go to hell.
Oh, that's a politics. Don't listen to that, Carlos. You've been saying that all the time.
Like I said, I can't let Dyson, man. I cannot have a conversation with cowards. You know, just stand on your square and say, "Okay, I was wrong." You know, we don't know. You don't know.
No, it ain't no wrong. You just lied. He's not constantly under no sanctions.
Nobody on here that I'm looking at sounds like they're well researched or anything. Don't know geopolitics or anything like that.
Carla, go back to bed, bro. Go back to bed.
Say the same about you.
Next week,
Carla, go back to bed.
Hold on. Next week, Iran and the United States could have formal relationships, and you could be having Iranian team play the All-Stars in baseball, basketball, whatever. That's how politics works in the world. You guys have everything all cut and dry. The world's been moved like 50 times before, 1,000 times before you can even make up a decision about what was going on. So how are you gonna have something written out? Paul Kagame is a puppet of the West. Well,
yeah, Carla, go back
man,
to bed.
Come on, bro. Like you delusional. You're delusional.
And it changes, you know. So you guys sit there in your old little thing. Like I said, instead of you guys going home, building your countries up, right? You guys sit online, sit in the West.
Oh, here we go again.
Tell us about all your freaking problems because we're tired of hearing this.
No. I mean, we're not talking against the West, Carlos. We're not talking against the West, but we're just saying that Paul Kagame want to get it above for it. You know, he been doing this. He been playing this a long time.
It's the fact of the matter. Let me say it. Let me run down. I'm gonna land on this, Dennis. Right? Look, I'm in Liberia right now. You know, I travel here on the VIP diplomatic visa because of the relationship I built with this country. You know, over the years. Okay, I travel on a special visa. I don't have to go through the process. And I'm in a diplomatic line. You're like, who's this guy?
Okay, we got it.
So, my point I'm trying to make is this. Trying to make is this. What I'm getting sick and tired of, right, is that every time there's a black man, look, this is an imperfect world. This is a brutal world, and everybody's hand is dirty. I get that, right? Some people are going to do a lot of things that we don't like. Malcolm X did, Elijah Muhammad did. When he met with the Klan, you know, we just judge.
What are you talking about?
Listen, I want you to listen to what I'm freaking saying before you let me finish. All right. What I'm saying is this. What I'm getting sick and tired of is this. Every time a black man comes up and whatnot, people always got to find a reason how to discredit him. Whether it's Julius Malema, whether it's Paul Kagame, Chahore, anything like that. You guys will pull out the democracy card all of a sudden. You pull out the human rights card all of a sudden. You do all this stuff like that, but why you sit in the worst countries in the world for human rights speech, which is the West? You guys have no problem with the West. You guys even now
who don't have a problem with the West?
Yeah, I don't like what are you talking about.
You got Africans going over there defending Africans
go back to bed, bro.
In Ukraine. Hold on, you got poor Africans going to die in Ukraine for somebody else's war. Please don't tell me about Paul Kagame.
No, but Carlos, that's a different scenario. You
No,
talking
it's
about
not
people
different.
being
It's all wrapped
no,
up in the
people
same
being
statement.
brainwashed, people being
It's like
brainwashed and take them to the
yeah.
wall.
Hold up.
That's different.
It's all like this. Hold up. If you guys were really all what you say, all you guys would get together and say, you know something? Let's put a
They
10
say a
million man
smart
for.
man sound like a
Hold on.
madman to a dumb man.
Why don't you guys get with the African Union and say, you know, we're gonna put together a intercontinental army, right? And we're gonna take 10 million men and we're gonna go into the Congo and see what the hell's that. We're gonna arrest the warlords. We're gonna stabilize that country. You won't do that though, you know. So you won't do
Nah,
that and
because the
everything. So
African Union would tell any plan that you have and divulge it to the West. They're
yeah.
lame ducks.
You must be a Western puppet.
Kala,
There's no
some
winning with
countries
Africa.
try that. Kala, let me
There's
explain you
no
something.
winning with Africa. There's no winning with Africans. I swear to God.
Kala. Let me tell you that
Y'all
African
just gotta
tried
admit
in
y'all
20.
some 304s,
Listen,
and all
Kala.
y'all do is cry from the West, man. That's
Okay,
all y'all do.
Castanova and Kala. Look here.
Yo, Mike went out, brother.
Is exposing the crimes of the three letters here, CIA's favorite boy, Paul Kagame and the Rwandan Patriot Front. And I'll give you another references. Our own, Pan-African attitude of Mr. The Sudanese brother. He's done a lot of articles, a lot of pieces on this issue of Congo and Rwanda. Now, this is the thing. Africans have tried. Remember, in 2012, after the first Vision M23 tried again and they occupied some part of North Kivu, under African Union mandate and the UN, they put up a group, a military group, a contingent made of Malawi, Tanzanian, and South Africa. And they came, help Congolese. This is, the brother touched the other day about it. This is the time of Mamadou Ndala. And they kicked these Rwandan and Ugandan guys or gangs.
Is that the one I was talking about, yeah? Is that the one I was talking about?
But this is what happened, Kala. If Kagame wasn't backed by these guys who backed him, the small heads when it comes to intelligence and the three letters and some multinational here in US, UK, Canada, and he could have been already in prison. Let me tell you truth, honestly. Do you know that if it was, let's say Burundi, the current president of Burundi who tried this game which Kagame is doing, he could have been already jailed. Even if it was Angola, they could be in big trouble. But Kagame has had all this time to mess up with Congo and not be sanctions. There's never been sanction of Kagame. They always sanctions people who worked with him, like his army officers, his general, his business partner. Let me finish, Kala.
Kagame is the big black boogeyman, and we must watch out for him.
But guys, we got to close out. We could do a part 2 tomorrow.
Let me finish with this way. 1 minute.
You got a minute. You got a minute.
Yes, a minute. There is a propaganda going around saying that in Congo there is more than 100 groups. There is a true and a lie to that. Let me explain you how those groups. There is like 5 main group. One is backed by Uganda, and 2 or 3 they are Rwandan made. Now, because the Congolese army has been, disbanded for a while, there was a type of security vacuum. This is how local Congolese came together and put up some groups, armed groups, so as to defend their local communities. And this is how the propaganda took out, saying that there is a lot of Congolese rebel. No, it's like 5, outside groups which are fighting with Congolese. You will see, if M23 is disbanded, all those groups of Congolese will come together and they will lay down arms. Those who want, they will go in arms. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Like, subscribe. At the next time, family. Dynasty Mirror Search for Peace.